Yo, what's up, YouTube? Welcome to the Coffee Pod. My name is Chisha Zed.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
Woman says if he supports Kevin Samuels or Andrew Tate run, he's a red flag. No more wasting time. Let's get it.
So although Kevin Samuels and Andrew Tate did irreparable damage in male communities, I think I'm starting to see the silver lining of them having had platforms that became so popular. Because although their intention was to normalize the hatred of women, what they unintentionally did was mark themselves as a definitive red flag when it comes to weeding out abusive men.
Okay, so can somebody please tell me in what clip, video, short, in context, showed that Kevin Samuels or Andrew Tate's intent was to generalize the hatred of women. Who hates women? We love women. What are you talking about? Again, modern women today want to tell you how to think and what you believe, right? If you are a man who says, hey, you know what? I'm going to embrace my masculinity. And you say, I want to embrace suffering and hard work, right? That's like Andrew Tate's whole thing, right? Get out here and improve yourself and compete. Kevin Samuels, same thing. He encouraged men to do. He's got hours of content encouraging men to work, compete, and also not belittle themselves. Be men who are proud to be men and embrace their masculinity as well. But to modern women, a man who embraces his masculinity is a man who hates women. And the silver lining this chick is pointing out is men who support either one of those guys should be red flags to women who are out here dating. Anyways, let's hear the rest of this video.
Meaning that now when women are dating, instead of having to ask these specific, somewhat passive questions to try to gauge what a guy is like, because we all know they tend to manipulate in that stage anyway, all we have to do is ask a man's opinion on Kevin Samuels or Andrew Tate. And the best part is we don't have to worry about them lying or manipulating their answers, because a man who hates women enough to support those two creators doesn't care about a woman's opinion anyway. If y'all have been on dates and asked this question, I would love to hear how it's gone.
All right, so this chick is saying that although Kevin Samuels or Andrew Tate did, in her analysis, irreparable damage to men globally, aka men supported him, and a lot of men. But in her eyes, she says, you know, that's damage. These men are ruined. But I do see the silver lining. And the silver lining is we can weed out these men by simply asking them, hey, do you support any of these men? Kevin Samuels, Andrew Tate, maybe throwing Chisha Zed in there. Come on, can I get some respect? Can I be part of the destruction? I'm just kidding. Oh, man. Yeah, so this chick is like, just ask them if they support these guys because they can't help but say yes if they're out on a date. They're not going to lie. And my response to this woman is most men who support either one of those men in particular, they'll probably see you coming before you see them, before you understand what they're about. Let me make this very practical. A guy who consumes either Kevin Samuels or Andrew Tate's content, if he's out dating, on a coffee date, getting lunch with some chick, getting a drink, whatever, he's already put you in a certain category with your purple hair. Yes, I'm talking to the creator of this video, and her nose ring and her disposition, your masculinity. Modern women today are so far gone that they don't understand how much they really just like exude and ooze masculinity. They walk around like men. They don't smile. You look crazy. You dress a little bit too revealing. He's already put you, I guarantee you, he's already put you in a category before you're able to figure him out. Meaning if you're on a date with one of these guys, he's already put you in the fun zone, aka a man's version of the friend zone. He's putting you there because he just plans to have fun with you and he's not taking you seriously for any type of serious relationship. A lot of the stuff that these women kind of complain about either Andrew Tate or Kevin Samuels, they heard by third parties. They heard by media outlets that are largely in support of female empowerment, etc., who twist anything they said to fit their narrative that these masculine men are a problem to society. They won't tell you. They figured you out before you figured them out in most cases. If you're out here with an Andrew Tate shirt on a date, then you know what I mean? knowing what women think Andrew Tate's about, then you're really just shooting yourself in the foot. So again, if a man supports either one of those men, they're gonna know they're dealing with a modern woman just by first looking at you. You don't even have to speak. They can sense it. And they're gonna know that you bring nothing of value to the table outside of what's between your legs. They already know all you have to offer, and they'll deal with you as such. That's the truth, right? That's black coffee, no sugar, no cream. That's how it's actually gonna work for women who go around asking men, do you support Kevin Samuels or Andrew Tate? Do you really think that guy is gonna say, oh yeah, actually, I'm subscribed to all their accounts. Actually, have you heard of the coffee pod? Come on. So as always, guys, a lot of chicks responded back to this because they probably agreed with her. And of course, we're going to read those comments. First comment here comes from a woman, and it says, you don't have to even ask. Let them talk. If they listen to those people, they'll tell you they can't wait to tell you. Laugh out loud. Again, guys, if you're on a date, you can't be talking about Kevin Samuels, Andrew Tate. And I'm talking about guys who are out here just dating. Men who are out here just dating. You just want to date. You don't want to get married. You don't want to get in a serious relationship. I'm talking about guys who are out here just dating, right? You want to find a woman or a couple of girls. You want to build a rotation, whatever. Because I don't blame guys today who say, hey man, I just want to date. I don't even want to marry a woman because it's a headache. But you don't have to bring those guys up. Again, you're shooting yourself in the foot. Now, if you're looking to get in a more serious relationship, you want a woman who can identify, and they do exist, with being a more traditional woman, right? The rest, you add them to the rotation. Next comment here, she goes on to say, actually, the same chick goes on to say, I was actually on a date with someone I hadn't seen in years. I really used to like them. She goes on to say, and I don't know where they actually asked me what I thought about Kevin Samuels. That was the last time we saw each other. Yeah, no need to bring up me, the coffee pod, these concepts, if you're out here just dating modern women and just having a good time. Now, of course, more serious relationships, it's different. Next comment here from another woman says, if they don't admit to liking them, the talking points are deeply ingrained, and we just got to ask a few key questions. Here's what's funny about this. The other thing, the truth is, even if she finds out, most women, that you are a guy who respects either one of these content creators. Because what I'm saying is don't go in there leading with it, right? It's a bit weird. But even if you say, oh yeah, I listen to a little bit of Andrew Tate and Kevin Samuels, you make some good points. They find out that you are a man who does embrace his masculinity and has more traditional ways of looking at relationships. These are who these women want. What they say with their fingers when they're typing on keyboards and what they do in real life are two different things. Next comment here from another person says, my brother supports Andrew Tate and wonders why he can't keep a girl for longer than 3 weeks. Here's what's funny about the what I hear is like 3 weeks, he's probably busting the cheeks. 3 weeks is a long time, right? He probably goes on a date, meets the chick, understands, she probably belongs to the streets, can't take her seriously for a relationship. That's most of these women today. Next comment here from another woman says, you do not have to ask about neither creator. Wait to hear, what do you bring to the table, or alpha, or other robotic words and phrases. Again, like I said, you don't, I've said this many times, you don't go around asking women what they bring to the table on a date. You don't talk about the alpha thing. That's for male spaces and male spaces alone. You let a woman talk, she reveals herself, etc. We've got a Lizzo-sized chick here, and she starts off by saying, or Joe Rogan, Ben Shapiro, Jordan Peterson, all red flags all the time. 100 likes. Okay. Joe Rogan, red flag, they say. Ben Shapiro, Jordan Peterson, all red flags, really? And so another woman responded back to her and says, so basically anyone who's Republican is a red flag to you? What happened to having our own beliefs and opinions? And then someone added to the thread and says they only want that if you agree with women. Next comment here says, let them think that at least Republican women like us. Laugh out loud. Another person added to the thread and says, I mean, considering what Republicans as an ideology group align with, yes, they all are red flags. The conversation has now gone political. Any perceived masculine men are dangerous to modern women. Yeah. But here's the secret. Here's the truth. these guaranteed are the men who attract the most women. We live in this clown world where you're on social media and you read stuff like this, but then you know what's really happening in real life. Next comment here from another person says, Kevin left a huge impact on men before he left, gave men a direction to be strong, successful leaders and to hold themselves accountable. RIP Kevin. And then a woman put the side eye right there, and another woman added to the conversation. She says, like the woman said, just telling on themselves. And then finally, the last comment here on this thread reads, we're not hiding. Those men told men to have standards and not settle. We're not apologizing for that. Definitely do not apologize for having standards. Next comment here from another woman says they've started lying about liking them now. Of course. What are you? You know how she knows? She knows because she was probably on a date and said, wow, you are so amazing. You're so strong. You're so masculine. I've got one question for you. Do you support any of these men? And guys, I get it, right? If you want to be the guy who says, yes, I do, then cool. There's nothing wrong with that. But I say chances are if you are intuitive, then you know that the type of woman who would have a problem with that, you would know just by looking at her, just by reading her bio on the dating app, just by interacting with her once, looking how she dresses, you can tell that, you know what, this is a modern woman. You should be able to know this. And if you're out on a date with a modern woman, it should simply be for fun, to enjoy yourselves and not to be taken seriously. And people may say, oh, that's so wrong, Chisha. How could you go out here and encourage men to have fun and play with girls' hearts? Here's what I find interesting about that. When a man decides he wants to go out and just date, not have serious relationships, he's looked at as, oh, you're terrible. You're breaking girls' hearts. You're leading them on. But when a woman racks up 40 bodies out here in the streets, now we're supposed to accept that she's just out living her best life. No one questions how many guys took her seriously, how many guys got played, right? You got the Lori Harvey Jordan, Michael B. Jordan situation. They get praised for it. Once it's time to put them on the hot seat, they'll come with the defense of, I was having fun, I was doing me. Well, I'm here to let you know that if that's the type of life you want to live, and it comes with its own consequences. The same way a woman should be able to get out here and live her best life, right? And have fun and capitalize on her beauty. A man who also wants to do the same thing should also be looked at as, hey, I was just having fun. A woman responded back to that chick who says they're starting to lie now and says it'll start to show up in their other behavior. Trust, with the laughing emoji. It will, but by then, he already put down that hammer. Right? He already did. And I guarantee you he's not crying about the fact that you are not going to marry him, because if you listen to any of those men, he's like not planning to do that with you, who has a problem with those men anyways. You guys get it. You guys understand. This is a final comment in this thread. It says, not until after I get what I want. Damn!
Put that coffee down.
I played two sounds at the same time there. I've never done that. I've never done that. See that right there? Proof, man. In my last video, I told you guys a personal story, and you guys seem to enjoy that. So I'll tell you guys a story. I'll tell you guys a story about the time I went out and a woman found out that I create RP content. Before I tell the story, I'm gonna need a quick sip of coffee. So guys, contrary to popular belief, I know some of you probably wonder like, hey, you have a YouTube. Yes, I do. And it does fairly well. And I appreciate you guys and thank you guys for that. Do I attract women based on having like, you know, attention, a little bit of the clout that I have from YouTube, and Instagram? And my Instagram doesn't really have much followers. I think I have I just hit 5K. I'm checking right now. I think I just hit 5K subscribers on there. Add me on Instagram. So you might be thinking, does that help with attracting women? Here's the truth, man. No, it doesn't. Because what tends to happen is when a woman realizes that you talk about game and red pill and how to attract women, etc. You have a course on, I have a dating course that I talk about a lot of times. It's on my website. But anyways, when she realizes that you're in the space, she, number one, of course, starts to put you in a certain box and her guard is up. So a lot of women like to believe a lie and a fantasy when they're on their date. All right. They think they're going to meet their Prince Charming. They think you're their soulmate. But if you introduce the fact that you have techniques to attract women and you talk about this, and on top of that, she associates you with the false narrative that any man who embraces masculinity is a misogynist, then her guard is up. But that's not to say that it hasn't helped me before. But in most cases, when I was out dating and maintaining a rotation, I did not lead with the fact that I did content. Women would ask, so what do you do? And I would say anything else but that. I would say like brand developer is what I usually go with. If you're in the inner circle and you got into the actual program that I have, then you've seen the messages of me like messaging women. I'll say brand developer in most cases. There's just one time when I slipped out. This chick on the date asked me, so what do you do? And I said, I make content. I was like, why'd you say that? So she proceeds to start looking me up like on Google. And I said, thank God at the time I wasn't doing that well. And so I thought, she finds my videos and she says, wow, this is you. And I'm there like, wait, what? And not only does she find the videos, this chick goes to my YouTube page and starts reading the titles of my videos, right? And I know they can get kind of crazy, but you got to imagine this. The whole time I'm sitting there, I'm just quiet. I haven't said much. I'm letting her do most of the talking like a man is supposed to do on the date. And she's just like, you're just such a great listener. Women love to talk about themselves, right? Then she goes to my YouTube page and she's reading out all these titles right in front of me, right? Out loud from across the table. Lizzo-sized woman, blah, 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 blah. Wife caught cheating and ruins her marriage. Woman hits the wall. 42-year-old plus woman, I'm broke and need a man. Modern woman gets instant karma. You guys know how it goes. And it didn't ruin me. It did not ruin the date. But what it did do is it put her guard up, right? It's a difference between a woman looking at you and she's kind of like intrigued by you and you come across mysterious versus now a woman can literally go search one of my videos and practically know everything about me when it pertains to like relationships and dating. The whole conversation pretty much turned into that. We kept dating and things were good. Again, I took her out on a few more dates. We hung out, whatever. The only good thing I think is that this was in LA. This was in Los Angeles, and LA chicks, they only care about clout, probably more than other women do in other cities. In LA, they'll overlook anything if you have some clout. But at the end of the day, it's a super liberal place, so it's a hit and miss a lot of the times. I would not, in most cases, lead with the content because, especially in the beginning, right, before a woman has truly got to know me, because if it's on the first date and I'm telling her what I do, what's she gonna do? She's gonna leave. She's gonna watch like, almost 900 videos now. She's gonna go back and watch hours. And in her head, she's gonna have more questions than she will anything else. She's gonna be more skeptical, think I'm trying to play with her, use certain techniques, trying to test her. In most cases, it just works better that she thinks I'm a barista at Starbucks or something like that. Guys, listen, as always, curious to know what you think. Leave your comments down below. I appreciate you for checking out yet another episode of The Coffee Pot. Till next time, man. I'm out. Peace.